All right, let's give this another shot, shall we, Ronan? This is NFT Live. We are coming to you and bringing you the latest from around the NFT industry. A lot is happening in LADZ City, and one of the main things that's happening in LADZ City is this episode with audio from both members. And we are going to bring you an awesome show here today. You guys have been killing it in the chat. Let me know if my audio is working, and I'm going to have Ronan make sure that he is good from an audio spot before I bring him in, and we will have it. But we do miss Buffalo. As you can see, we miss Buffalo a lot. But Ronan, how are you doing, my man?
Good, man. Good. I definitely feel the missing Buffalo thing, but you know, I mean, it happens, right? Like it's all good. It's not a problem. And I think that part of what Bruff brings is a little bit of that hype and that energy and that excitement. And, you know, we miss that as well as like the technical side of things as well. So, but yeah, dude, NFTs popping off as usual. Lots of big names. We've seen a lot of like crazy drops, obviously, like we saw like, you know, with the UFC, right? Like, and then Patrick Mahomes last week, and dude, it's just getting bigger and bigger, bigger.
Absolutely, man. And honestly, as the NFT industry has grown, we are going to grow the NFT Live channel. So we're actually going to be bringing you 2 NFT Lives this week. We will be doing that second episode on Friday, so keep a lookout for that. But I'm excited to get to this one, man. We have a packed episode. Right there in the thumbnail, you guys can see that we have a little bit of Godzilla, a little bit of Axie Infinity that we're going to hit almost immediately here in a couple seconds. We got Illuvium as well as my man Cagyjan. We are going to hit some Cagyjan news. That is going to be huge for LADZ City. It's going to be huge for the LADZ. It's going to be huge for NFT gaming. He is one of the best streamers in NFT gaming right now and is going to be on it going forward. So can't wait to bring you guys this episode. Again, if you are here for the second time, you're getting 2 doses of NFT Live in one day. I've got my game day shirt on, my sale day shirt on, just because I love what's going on in LADZ City, and I'm just ready to bring it to you. So shout out to everybody. It looks like we just hit 6,000 subscribers, by the way. So whoever just hit the subscribe button, my man, we appreciate you, my man or my lady. We appreciate you here, and we are growing rapidly. Shout out to all the nobles, the guardians, the recruits that have joined us on this journey. But Ronan, let's get to some of what you've got into this week as we make our way into NFTs, as we make our way to this Axie ban, man, that's been kind of gripping the space.
Yeah, the Axie thing is kind of crazy, man. It's really surprising, and I actually didn't even realize that had taken place until I read like the show notes for today, and I was like, oh, I got to look into this. So I actually read up a little bit before, and it's, you know, I think that's like one of those things where you look at the internet and the culture and how like these things can be like weaponized, right? And it's unfortunate, and I definitely think that there should be a little more like attention to that type of situation, right? Where, you know, there's a little more human interaction to avoid things like that, right? Like to have, I mean, it's important to a business to be able to communicate with their community, and to just take away the Axie like Twitter channel, and take away Jihaz, who like is like the second source of information for Axie. You're literally taking away their top 2 communication platforms, and to me that's just not okay, especially when like you don't have any like. What did they do, right?
Yep.
Like, what did they do? Like, if you're going to suspend an account like that, I think that there should always be a little bit of human intervention to avoid things like, you know, people weaponizing bots to you know, spam report an account or 2.
Absolutely, man. And I want to get to some of these comments, but I completely agree with you. We'll get to some of the messages that came from both Sky Mavis, the company that owns Axie Infinity, as well as some people in the community talking about that exact same thing, how we rely on these Web 2 platforms for the creation of our communities, for the maintenance of our communities. And it's just something we have to do. You know, right now there is no viable option. People are trying to create these networks, but they're hard to create in mass to have that network effect. So our hearts go out with the Axie Infinity guys. We are here for you. Let me get to some of these comments. Llama is in the house first on this round 2 episode. I've got Carrots, I've got Easy in Crypto, Ballast, Mr. Toe, just a who's who of all the lads in crypto right now. Thomas, Katsumoto, Hash Rhymes, Buffalo is there in the comments. I miss you. And Scott is going to be opening some Godzilla packs while we're live. Maybe we can get to some of that too. But the first thing I want to get to here, Ronan, and I'm going to pull this up on my screen, is a little bit of what you've been doing, working with some NFTs in real life, or at least just experiencing some NFTs in real life. Take us through what you did this week.
Yeah, man. So I had the pleasure of being able to go and check out the ABV art gallery It was the Chain Reaction art exhibit, and this was basically a crypto art exhibit that we were able to make an appointment for. Like we, it was like 7 people. We made the appointment, and we were able to go down there. We had 20 minutes in the space just to ourselves, which was kind of cool. And we were able to check out, like that video there. That'll kind of show you like what the space looked like. They had, I think, something like 22 screens or something like that, showing like all the different art, dude. And it was really, really cool stuff. And that first picture that kind of like at the top was actually that morning I won 2 nifty draws at once, which was kind of cool. So I ended up with 2 pieces, and when I arrived, both of those pieces were being presented right next to each other. So I actually got to take a picture with 2 of my pieces, like actually being displayed, which a lot of people like,
my man,
what do you do with these things? Well, like when you check them out on a screen that's big, that it is high quality, high def, dude, it's an experience. You know what I mean? It was cool. They had the headphones, and dude, I have pictures of my kids. They loved it. My daughter, like my littlest, was super into it. So yeah, it was a really good time. That was an amazing piece. Ness Graphics, shout out to Ness. He does amazing work, dude. So yeah, a lot of really cool stuff. The Victor piece though, that one right there sold for like 45K. So it's absolutely insane. It's a beautiful piece of work, and it was a lot of fun. We had a really good time, man. And I think that that is what I'm looking forward to people experiencing and seeing, and then being able to understand a little bit more about like digital art and why why we connect with it on such a different level. To see something moving and breathing, and to hear it, and to now an artist has the ability to kind of hit you in different ways, right? Like audibly and not just visually. So, and not just through a static image.
Yep.
That's the amazing thing about this technology. When you consider stuff like async art, I would have loved to have been able to see like an async piece that like someone there actually controlled,
Yep.
right? Like that would have been really cool to see them like control the piece live. And that's what makes digital art and NFTs and what we're doing here like so special, and like that next evolution of like where this goes for creators.
You're talking about
cool.
evolution, and if you had told me that you were going to go into a physical kind of art space and kind of take in NFTs where they're being displayed as an art exhibit in what is it, the end of March? I would never, 3 months ago, I would never have, completely agreed with you at all. So definitely really cool to see this. This is in Atlanta, so it's good to see people in the ATL kind of taking up the NFT kind of flag bearer there. So that's an awesome,
there's a lot.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised. I'm starting to connect with a lot more people who are in Atlanta. And for as far as like NFTs and stuff are concerned, there's a couple little dev shops, and like I really think this will be a space. Like NFT.NYC is a thing. Like I can imagine like there being NFT ATL at some point, because the community here seems to be pretty strong. So big ups to everybody there in chat. I don't think that I saw anything. What's up, Mr. Toe? Asmodes. Good to see you, Thomas. Marty McFly, what's going on, brother? We appreciate you being here 9 weeks in a row. That's like an MVP number right there. You know what I mean? So like he hadn't missed it in 2 months. So amazing. Big shout out to you, as well as all the other lads who are here every single week and checking out the show and watching the news and hanging out in Discord and interacting with what we're doing on a daily basis.
Absolutely, man. Couldn't give you guys more of a shout out right now. We're going to get to you and what's happening in LADZ City before we hop into the news, but we kind of just want to hit what we've been doing in like the last 24 hours, last week within the NFT space. And I was taking part in this Godzilla sale this afternoon. Always like being in LADZ City, our community Discord. That's where the latest updates are going to be. So, maybe we're putting together the NFT live episode and one of the lads pings us and said, hey, Godzilla drop in an hour and a half, credit card only, make sure you're ready. That's the value of LADZ City. So I was able to get in on this. A lot of people had some issues. Classic. This is what happens with these sales most of the time. I know Scott, I want to give you a shout out because he was in the lounge talking audio with me. We kind of like to experience these drops together. So if anybody wants to do that, definitely get in there. But some people were having issues as far as the packs themselves. Completely sold out the ultimate pack there within the last. Oh, and they have an option to open, Ronan. Maybe we can get a full on open here. On NFT Live, a full-on Godzilla
I didn't
open.
realize
Here
that you snagged a legendary, dude.
And another broke. Taking you back up. All right, do I pull it down? Boom! Remember that? Here we go.
I wonder now, is it the shirt?
Just fix it! What did I
We need a
say
new
while it was
shirt.
live that one time? God damn it.
Yeah, just
Just
fix
get
it.
it right. All right. It looks like it says 6 more minutes, so I front ran the Godzilla pack opening. Hopefully that doesn't do anything crazy to my packs.
Yeah.
Maybe they're in the ether now. But I'm going back to look. Top's got that Godzilla is just broken for me now. All right, I will wait for
It
6 minutes.
happens.
You lads are trying to warn me. Anyways, a lot of issues, but they sold out 5,000 packs in for $100 each. I believe that's 500K if I'm getting my quick math right there. Hit me if I'm wrong there, guys. But standard pack still for sale. There were some people that weren't getting their packs. There were some people that were able to flip these Godzilla packs for 2x already. We know the story behind pack sales. So okay, I got Scott saying that I need to reload Atomic Hub. So I'm going to do that on my end, Ronan. But we can, I don't know, do you want to give us an episode preview while I try to go through this? I know it's right there in the dashboard. Let me know if you can hit that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, sounds good.
Absolutely. So what you guys have coming up for you guys today in our main segment when we go over the news, we're going to be hitting on the Illuvium Sale. We're going to touch on the Brainfeeder collection, which is the first set of short films that are being auctioned off as NFTs. We're going to touch on, obviously, Godzilla. We're going to have a little chat about that. We're going to talk about the fact that SNL had an NFT skit. Now, you want to talk about something that I never would have thought. You said you wouldn't have expected to see like a live crypto art show in March. And I honestly, 3 months ago, I would have been like, yeah, that's possible. Now, would I have thought that NFTs would have had an SNL skit 3 months into the year when 4 months ago, 5 months ago, there was like 5,000 people in this entire industry? No, not at all, dude. So you want to talk about things that blow my mind? That's blowing my mind. We're talking about ChainMonsters, Blockparty. We're going to hit on DapperLabs hitting that $305 million on their funding round, as well as a little bit of a spotlight on Ephimera, which is a photography-only platform for NFTs. And then the hot news of the day, which is there was a Teletubbies
Oh, God.
teaser.
Please no.
Yeah. So we might have to have a little chat about that. But that is the news. That is what we've got coming on. Obviously, I see a little bit of the SNL skit there, which was just amazing to freaking see. I think they did an excellent job. I love the fact that like the closing, segment of the song was them kind of like breaking it down. It does make me a little sad. It hurt my heart a little bit for him to basically break it down to like, and then it's just art. When everyone here knows that like we like to talk about more than just the fact that it's an image, right? So I wish that, I hope to change the narrative a little bit through over time, that we can stop talking about the fact that you can make $1 million in 5 minutes and start talking about like how you can change your relationship with your consumer, your collectors, your community, and how you can build value from there, not only for yourself or for your brand, but those who support it.
Absolutely, man. And we have a couple comments that I do want to get to. And you had a comment specifically on that, the piece that you just covered right now, where you're talking about utility, and you were tagging a lot of NFT gaming projects. And that's a lot of us in this building. We're here, we're waiting basically for NFT gaming to kind of start to creep in, where you have that utility. A lot of what we saw over the past, YouTube's going to completely hit us with that copyright, but a lot of people in like the past 2 months have been really digging NFT art. We've seen NFT collectibles, obviously Wax, Nifty Gateway. You can name all of these different projects that are benefiting off this collectible and art scene that's kind of popped up. But NFT gaming is next, and we got some news to bring you here. I do have a little bit of this Godzilla pack here that's opened in my Atomic Hub wallet. Again, all of these are going to be pre-minted. So they were like mint numbers were already pre-minted ahead of time. So it looks like I did get a couple lower numbers. No mint ones, unfortunately. So shout out to all the guys that took part in this. We'll see where this kind of goes. I do like me some Godzilla, and I do need to hit that movie. But we will digress. We will move on. I think we're going to hit Godzilla later. But it's good to see 54 of you guys in the house. We just had our 6,000 subscriber on the LADZ Crypto Network right now, and we appreciate you guys showing up here for NFT Live. Okay, so
absolutely, yeah. Real quick, I did want to touch a couple of comments in chat. One was Marty McFly when we were showing the stuff for the exhibit. He said, "Let's set this up in the airports." What a cool part of the show that they have going on is actually that the pieces on display aren't just being shown at the gallery; they're actually being shown in multiple metro stations and subways in both Atlanta and I believe Boston or Seattle. So yeah, dude, huge. Obviously, I wanted to answer that. that. And then somebody else asked about NFT.NYC, and
Yes,
you're
sir.
damn right. The lads are going to be at NFT.NYC. I think I'll be hosting a panel, and then hopefully we get some more opportunities, because I think it would be excellent for Q and I to maybe host something together. Obviously get Buff involved in the show, man. I think that NFT.NYC has the potential to be like really big for lads this year, and what we've got going on. Hopefully that'll be a nice way to maybe tie up season 2, right?
Yep.
So here, Q's kind of busted into our collab.
Hold on, because this is the first part of our. So, like, for the next 5 minutes, we're going to cover some quick LADS news, the things going on in LAD City, basically. So, if you're not a LAD yet, I don't know why you want to be part of one of the biggest social token communities in all of crypto. We do have 2 lads going to NFT NYC as well. So we have, first of all, the whole team hopefully can get out there with Ronan. But Cagyjan, who we're going to get to here in a second, is also a panel member for NYC or NFT NYC. Sorry. So we're going to have 2 lads on stage. I think that's the first time. Go ahead.
And then look, you can't knock the fact that JN is a noble, right? So JN is also going to be there. So like JN, who is a noble lad who came in and literally day 1 walked in the door, bought into a noble lad, has supported us every day since, is also going to be there hosting a panel on photography as well. So huge for the lads. We've got multiple members who are going to be there hosting conversations, taking part in the convo, being there and seeing what everybody's got going on. So it's going to be great. It's going to be a good time.
Absolutely, man. And Marty McFly, one of our nobles, was talking about merch. We could definitely do merch for all 3 of you guys. And if the whole team goes, all of us will be wearing that lads gear, man. If JN and Cagyjan want to rock it, we will have lads merch for them. So that would be exciting to have all at NFT NYC. But without further ado, man, so we're hopping into lads news. What do we have coming here? What is in front of me? What is this piece that I see in front of me right now?
So I have got, and you're going to have to DM me to collect this. But for the first person who drops what collaboration the lads have coming from this image, the first person who can tell me what brand that is, I will drop you 100 lads in main chat. Just shoot me a DM. But yeah, so we have gotten a collaboration coming. I am super excited about this one. This is like super close to my heart because of the fact that the creator of this series is actually someone who is part of the community, is someone who I met through Clubhouse, one of my early days there, and who I kind of helped understand NFTs and what he could do, and I really encouraged him to like do his own thing when it came to vinyl toys. And here we are, like 5 or 6 weeks later, dude, and he is rocking the hell out of them. So yep, there it is. That is a Drippies collaboration coming. It is going to be a lads special edition Drippy. The exact details of how many, what they're going to cost, how we're going to sell them are not quite laid out yet. However, we do know that we will be offering this for lads specifically, and there may be some other ways to obtain a lads drippy. So I'm super hyped about that. That is coming soon. Obviously we want season 1 of Lad City to be like through the roof, and so we've got this collaboration coming as well as some other ones down the road. NFTs are obviously what we're about here, so we're definitely going to be playing that into what we're doing and what is going down for season 1.
Absolutely. And you mentioned season 1, so I'm going to go right into that before we announce our next huge kind of going on within lads in season 1 and in the city itself. So we have this announcement here that came about 3 days ago, and I'm pinning it in the chat. If you're not familiar with what we're doing at lads, or you're not familiar with what we have coming, this is going to be huge. So we have LAD Season 1 here. We kind of have our mission put out here, which is to be one of the biggest crypto content networks in the entire industry. We also want to tokenize that network so everyone in LAD City, everyone in the network can benefit from the growth of that network. And then we are currently already one of the largest social token Web3 communities in crypto. So we are flying right now. Shout out to all these guys. I'm not going to spend a lot of time because I spent some time here on Layer 1 Live going over this. You can see our stats there. You can see our awesome team, and we got some members to add to that as well here. And we have the roadmap. So past the proposals that we'll get to in LAD City today, we are going to hit this roadmap. And part of the roadmap, 2 parts on the roadmap, are first in April, LAD City exclusive NFT sales. This goes with the uplift, and this goes with the announcement that we just made, which is Drippies. So Drippies is going to be an announcement that we just made. We're going to be doing that NFT sale in LADZ. Also, I believe some of that will be in ETH. We're going to work out the details, but that's going to drive utility for LADZ. And then we have a new show added to the network. New show added to the network, and we're happy to announce right here, right now. I think if you guys were in LADZ City yesterday, you would know already, or this morning, that Cagyjan is going to be joining us in really heading our NFT gaming arm, right? The series is going to be a yet to be named series, but it's going to be covering NFT gaming. If you don't know who Cagyjan is, he's an absolutely phenomenal NFT gaming streamer. I've seen him on Lost Relics. I've seen him on Axie. We're going to get to him here in a second when we talk Axie, but here we go. We got a little bit from him here. This is kind of his clips of him playing. I know the rendering is tough here. You can kind of see a little bit of that. So shout out to my man Cagyjan, Rage Cage. I think he has 8 names already, but he is going to be doing that show on Friday with Crypto Buffalo, and he is going to be pretty much heading up the NFT gaming portion of LADZ City. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Along with the official announcement that we'll be making here in about 24 hours, I think, Cagyjan might be getting some announcements out before then via his own Twitter, but there's going to be benefits for his community as far as it's related to LADZ token, and as well as nobles getting benefits already from what Cagyjan is doing with his NFTs. So if you are a noble, you're going to get benefits for holding that amount of LADZ from Cagyjan, and if you are from Cagyjan's community, you're going to be able to get some LADZ that we'll do for a giveaway. So love that type of collab in the Web3 space, man.
Dude, absolutely. Welcome to the family, Cage. I really appreciate what you bring to the table, especially because I'm a huge gamer, dude. So I really look forward to seeing the content that you bring. I actually watched a bunch of your stuff over the last week, and I signed up for I think it was called Ember Sword. I guess 2 days ago, and I'm super hype about that project. I had no idea it existed. I've been I started looking into it thanks to a video that he posted, man. So big ups, super excited to be, expanding the LADZ family, and to be having these opportunities continue to flow. So I'm hyped, dude. This is awesome.
Man, we already talked about it. NFT gaming is next. He's going to be at the forefront. LADZ are going to be at the forefront. Can't wait to continue to drive that utility for LADZ through Cagyjan, be able to kind of benefit his community, as we said too. It's just an awesome collaboration. It's an awesome time. Everything kind of fell into place with this. So we're happy to have Cagyjan be part of LADZ City, and that NFT gaming show will start next week, Friday. We will be announcing that Cagyjan's getting that LADZ grant next month of April. So that is going to be awesome, man. Glad we could get that collaboration set up. Can't wait for him to join. So, all right. Yep. That is a long-ass intro we just had. We talked about Season 1. We talked about the Drippies that we're about to do for LADZ. We're, talking about Cagyjan joining. So we will get to the main topics of the day. Ronan, I wanted to hit this Axie Infinity story. So basically what we have, as we see Sky Mavis retweeting already Cagyjan, making his name known within Axie Infinity. But Sky Mavis is the owner, essentially, of Axie Infinity, right? So this is going to be the medium which we're going to hear about what's happening with Axie. For the meantime, we haven't seen any of the team members come out other than in their own Discord and kind of talk about this on video. We would have loved to get Jiho on there, but I think they're just dealing with this internally at this point. But this is basically a microcosm of all the tweets that is happening within the NFT community right now. You see Cagyjan's tweet, follow Sky Mavis, and then you have that free Axie Infinity hashtag, and as you continue to go down, just more and more about, hey, what are we gonna do? What's gonna happen while we wait for this unban? You see Sky Maps there, day 3. Where is our account? So the community is really getting behind this. The token itself, I'll pull up while you're speaking on this, Ronan, but it's doing very well as well, based on the community just getting behind it. I have no idea what the fundamentals are behind the pump over the last day, other than the fact.
I'll tell you, I can tell you what the pump was about. I'll tell you the pump, in my opinion, what I think the pump is about is that this is the effing that we're dealing with in life today, right? Like that we're controlled by these, businesses, right? Like businesses are controlled by these monopolies that, have these social networks. that they use primarily for communicating with their customers and their clientele and their community. And then they can have that pulled out from under them, and all the hard work that they've done and all the hard work they've put into it and all the time and all the effort and, you know what I mean, the countless hours of creating content for a network like Twitter. And then they get banned. And they can't even be like, Twitter doesn't even have the respect to tell them why, right? Like, that's the problem that we're dealing with. And that is why Axie is pumping. And that's why it should fucking pump. Sorry. But like, you know, like, because at the end of the day, like, that's crap, man. And it's the same thing, you know, look, I hadn't even established my brand yet when it comes to YouTube, but I tried like creating my YouTube channel. Every time I would create it, didn't matter what I did, it would get taken down. And there's nobody you can contact at YouTube. There's no emails. You go to their help website. It tells you to send an email. You send an email, it tells you to go to the help website. You know, I'm not surprised at all that Axie cannot get any customer service from Twitter and why they were banned, how they can get unbanned, you know, what took place, how to avoid it, whatever. And that's a problem. And that's why I think that this is a perfect storm. People are like, why is this blowing up right now? Because like crypto answers the problems that we're dealing with today, which is that like these big fucking companies that like rule everything around you, like do not care. Right. And they don't. So what are we going to do about it? And I think that this is a good example of how like a community can come back and say, you know what, like we're going to continue to show unwavering support for a product that we give a crap about. And we're going to show them that like they can prevail, right? Which is really important because as a small company, as somebody who has been there myself, I can't imagine what it'd be like if my primary means of communication was literally cut off. Like if all my community members, you know, like, I mean, could you imagine like what would happen if Discord just said, F it, Lad City's gone? Like, obviously we've got other channels, we have Twitter, we have YouTube, but like, that's still a huge problem if we can't communicate the way we do on a daily basis with our community. And then you don't get any support, right? So I think that's what took place, honestly. Like, I think that like it is exactly why we need to like continue to be more and more decentralized, and us as like the everyday human being need to like take like the power back. And I think that's what people don't talk enough about, like what we're doing in this space, right? Is giving creators like you and I, like artists, like musicians, the ability to properly make and monetize the way we should. Twitter makes money because creators like you and I go on and we provide content, and they don't give us jack but crickets and birds when you try to get some damn customer service, right? So there's a problem with that, and that it's a power shift where that has been built forever. Sorry, that's a rant, but you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, dude, I'm also listening to I forgot the name last night too. The Sovereign Individual, which is an absolutely excellent read. And you start like hearing this stuff and you're just like, this is what our world has created for us, right? Like the government has like created this structure of power where like they make all the money off of people like us who work all day creating content, and they can do whatever they want, and they can cut us off, and they can censor us, and they can move us, and they can do whatever the F they want. So rant over.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And guys, when we're doing our rants like this, we want you guys to take part. So if it's something that you're interested in, something that you feel strongly about, hop into that chat, man. These episodes, I say it all the time, are better when the live chat is absolutely bumping. So we do have this situation with Axie getting banned. There were a couple different listings that were happening. Huobi listed it, AXS, the token of Axie Infinity, as well as Gate.io. So we have a couple listings, but for the most part, the Axie token is doing fine. The community seems to be doing fine. Usually after these bans, as long as it's not some type of black swan event again, then you're going to be able to bounce back from this, and it actually becomes a marketing event, right? You can kind of come out and be the martyr of a situation and say, hey, look at us, kind of, you know, coming out for decentralization, everyone kind of band together. It's really that band together moment for the community. It can kind of bring you closer, to be honest. So shout out to Axie Infinity. Again, Jiho got banned as well. So we got a last message, and this is pretty much the last thing that we are going to touch on with this Axie Infinity piece. We had some messages saying they thought it was like kind of a mass report situation where some bad actors were going out and actually saying, hey, Jiho and Axie Infinity, if they get enough reports, Twitter might automatically ban them with whatever algorithm they have set up. So that might be the situation. We're still waiting to hear what the answer will be on day 3. Other than that, I did have a small piece that I'll get to here as we move into Illuvium, but there were people commenting saying, was it Illuvium? Well, Illuvium must have been behind this, so that's always a fun time to get involved with. Yeah. It wasn't us. It wasn't us. Mm. One. Mm-hmm. And not the best segue in the world, guys, but we're moving on to Illuvium here. We're going to touch on this balancer sale that's happening right now. I've had a lot of questions coming in from a lot of different areas of, Telegram, Discord, our own LADZ City. You can't hear Ronan. Talk, Ronan? Oh, no. Your audio. Yeah. No. There you go. Something pop.
Now?
Test.
Hello?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. My randomly sometimes it switched to my other mic.
Okay.
It's not even connected.
No, that's fine. So touch on that last bit of 30 seconds. I don't know if you even remember it. Sometimes we're flying a mile a minute, but
yeah, pretty much. I don't remember. So,
okay.
Yeah, I don't think it was anything really important.
Awesome, man. So, it was basically saying that Ronan didn't want to make sure that we weren't behind the Axie Infinity ban. So, again, in that segue from Axie to Illuvium, had a ton of different questions kind of come out about what's happening with the balancer sale. I want to give a quick shout out to Ollie. He's been a great lad within LADZ City for a long time. He was asking me specifically how people are getting into this Illuvium sale that's happening right now as we speak. It was 72 hours and it started, I believe, around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard yesterday. So interesting story that went with this. They went with a balancer pool. So I'm going to pull up the pool management now. Don't get freaked out by anything. I also try to pull up the exact swap and put that in. Again, nothing we're talking about here is going to be investment advice. We're not telling you to invest in anything. So we're just giving you the information. And I'm going to replace that pin there. And that is the swap that's going to take place. It's balancers much like, it's a DEX much like Uniswap. They have their own terminology and what have you. So that's exactly where you'll do the swap to get into this. So again, had questions on how this all works. They basically supplied a balancer pool with 1 million ILV tokens, and at a set date, they opened it up for the community to deposit ETH and take out ILV. Now, the way that this is going to work, the mechanics is the price is manually driven downwards, and when people purchase, it spikes. So if you see a price for Illuvium, it's going to start at $50. At least that was the case that they continue to start out with, but then we'll get to it here in a second. So it starts at $50 hypothetically, and then as people buy, it goes up, and then it's manually driven down over 72 hours. So I'm going to pull up CoinGecko here. I'm going to show you what the price looks like now, and the pool is still open for another almost 48 hours, a little bit under that, obviously. So don't pay attention to this 21.7% downwards. Again, that is pretty much the situation with the mechanic of the pool itself. So if I go out to about a 7-day period here, you can see 70, it's spiked to 76, and the pool is going downwards. So why is this important? We have a little bit of time left while the pool is still open with that manual price being driven down. People are saying, okay, I'm going to wait this out. Because as the pool continues, as the price continues to dip, it's almost like a gotcha moment, right? Where it's like, who's going to pull the trigger, right? Okay, now it's 76, now it's 50, now it's 40. Where's everyone going to pick up? Specifically, what you need to be focusing on is the whales, right? If there's a whale that comes in here or multiple whales that come in here and eat a bunch of ILV tokens up, that's going to send the price going way up where it is right now. But maybe those whales are waiting for 20, 30 bucks. So it's an interesting way to do your initial distribution, the IDO that they're doing here. I actually love it. I think it's a super fair way to do it. Now, I'm going to touch on this one point. The way that this launched, they started with 1 million, and then bots front ran the announcement. Or not announcement, the unlock of the pool. So technically, they open the pool, everyone kind of goes in, and the price gets driven upwards, right? From $50, that was the initial price. Well, bots came in, bought before everyone else, and drove the price to about 140 bucks. And then you had plebs, and if you did it, sorry, this is a pleb move. Maybe you're not a pleb, but this is a pleb move. You were buying at $140 because the bots got in first. If you waited that out past the hour, it started to drive down $80, kind of where it is right now. But the only thing that you really had in the Discord, and it was mayhem for a second, was the fact that you had those bots come in and dump on people that wanted to buy Illuvium right away, which was basically everyone in the Discord saying, don't buy right off the bat, because this is the way that the mechanics of the pool works. So any questions you guys have on the Illuvium sale itself, please drop them in the chat. We'll touch on them. Otherwise, I'll get to this NFT incentive as well. That's an incentive for people holding and not really swapping. So you got any questions there, Ronan?
No, but I appreciate you breaking that down, because like I was trying to like understand exactly like how exactly it worked and how, like, where, I don't know, where do they expect to make their money, and now that makes sense. And I think that, golly, it's gamification again.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's like gamifying everything. It's gamifying the purchase of the gamified games game. So
it's really they really have a DeFi mindset. I was talking to Cagyjan about this the other day. Illuvium is much more DeFi than it is social token, which Axie Infinity would be the opposite, right? You really have that social and community vibe with Axie Infinity, whereas I believe Illuvium's coming from, the Warwicks are behind this project. Kane Warwick is at Synthetics. So you have all these DeFi related projects that are involved and all these things. So it's really a different mindset. It's a different ethos. So the big thing, Ronan, that you have to be watching for here is the balance in this weight. And again, this is not investment advice, but this is what we're watching. We're watching this 83% start to move towards 50. So again, when this pool started, the ratio of ILV to ETH in the pool was 100 to 0. There was 1 million ILV and no ETH. When the pool opened, it started to go down and down and down, and this is how much ILV is left in the pool. So gotcha. 5.2 thousand ETH is now in the pool, and 885,000 Illuvium is in this pool. So what we want to see is this ratio start to move towards 50, and then once it gets past 50, what you'll have is a lower supply. So obviously, if there's demand, there's the law of supply and demand at work. So listen, I'm again, couldn't say this more times, not investment advice. Do your own research. But the way that they've set this freaking token up, tokenomics wise, it has all the makings of something that could do really well. The only tokens that will be open to circulation are going to be the ones from the sale. That means Illuvium is going to be, depending if it's a $50, if you pick it up at $50 or it ends up at 50, again, we're sitting about 55 right now, it's a $50 million project. That puts it at, and again, we have it right here, rank 1102. 1102. So I'm not going to go for, like, we're getting into a little bit of a shield category here, but I'm just really big into this project, honestly. I haven't actually jumped in yet. I am waiting for that 50% ratio. But for those of you guys that are waiting, otherwise, drop your questions. Let me know what we're kind of getting into here. There are a lot of comments as well. Hey, why even have this fully diluted market cap price of like 600 million if you're looking at fully diluted, and when there's no product, are they going to even have the game in Q3? So there are some question marks around Illuvium, but definitely one of the biggest projects that I'm super interested in at this point. So if you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat. Otherwise, we will get on with the show. Awesome. Ronan, one more time. My bad. Yeah, if you do hold the ILV, you get a chance to claim these NFTs. So you have the NFTs here. So you can see the point system here. If you spend 1 ETH, you get 1 point. So if you're spending, like I said, 5 ETH, you can like get this type of NFT, different types of NFTs.
It's like a raffle ticket.
Pretty much. But if you sell the ILV during the time of the sale, those points become worthless. So that's the last point.
Right. Got it. Makes sense. Okay, cool. So I guess going on to our next story up is this is the Brainfeeder collection. This is actually the first. Ooh, that was a this is actually the first time that we are seeing short films sold directly as NFTs. I think the project is super dope. Full transparency. I am involved with it. I kind of helped a little bit in advising them on putting this stuff together. But I think that this is a really cool opportunity for anyone who's really into film and who's really into especially short films or films that are outside of the normal genre, right? We had an excellent conversation in Clubhouse the other day where we learned that as far as the directors are concerned, most of these films actually don't even fall into a very clear genre, right? They're very they're experimental, right? And so I think that what's really important about this is that this is giving independent creators again the opportunity to continue to create for themselves outside of the machine, right? For me, Kerfuffle looks amazing. I put in a bid on Children of the Void, which is this one. I think the art looks absolutely stunning. I'm going to continue to bid on that one. And I think it's excellent. So if you guys are interested in that, you want to head over to brainfeedercollection.io. That will take you to the site. You can go to the site. They have this it's a randomizer video. So you'll see either trailers or you'll actually be able to see the full short films. Also worth noting, there's a separate auction for each one of the short films. So you can bid on just that short film. And then the winner of that auction gets an infinite object. You'll get a physical Blu-ray DVD as well as the NFT. The NFT is going to be a clip from the movie or a special graphic that they made. You can see the NFTs when you click on the Blu-ray boxes on the website. It takes you straight to OpenSea. You can see exactly what's going on there. And what's really cool is if you guys check out the Legendary, which is the full anthology, it has every single one of the films all included into it. They were actually able to put the entire thing on, it's not that one actually. I think it's either that one or Fuck You, one or the other. But they were able to put the entire film. So if you go and pull it up in OpenSea, you can actually entire thing, which is amazing. So super cool project. I wanted to give a shout out. Obviously, being first in this space is a big deal. This is the first time that short film collector or directors are coming together to kind of create this anthology that can be purchased. There's actually 3 films: Kerfuffle, Polema, and Blast and Kerfuffle, that one, and one other one. I can't remember the name of the other. I've never seen. So the person who wins this NFT will of those one of the people to ever see it outside of the people who worked on it. So excellent opportunity, super cool. You're supporting a lot of excellent directors. If you win the anthology, you actually get a bonus short, and it's a Spike Jonze short film, which is really, really cool. So love to see more opportunity and creators coming into the space.
1000%. One of the awesome things before I get onto this Crypto Slam rankings and Godzilla is I was in the Clubhouse with you while you were doing this breakdown of the project. You had a bunch of the directors in there, and one of the things that the directors were saying, and really we've seen over the past 3 months, a lot of artists come out and say, "Man, I don't know how to." Before NFTs, I didn't know that I could bootstrap myself into actually making this a career. And you don't think about that, but short films don't make a lot of money. And so one of the directors was saying this taking NFTs and putting them into short films or vice versa allows short films to become their own industry where that didn't even exist before. And I thought that was a phenomenal point, man. So
yeah, and I think that just like anything, right? If you have you've got 100 hardcore die-hard fans, you've got an infinite community, right? So for short films, it may not be a huge genre that you can put out into the movie theaters and maybe uplift an entire application like Disney Plus or something like that off of just short films. But I think that there's enough people who appreciate the art that can support it through NFTs, right? And now you're talking about these guys can come out, they're putting these auctions out there, and if this really pops off, which I hope it does for their sake, it will hopefully bankroll their next
Exactly.
film. You know what I mean? And now they can continue to create. We talk about the ability for NFTs to change that power dynamic between creators and everyone else, right? So like we give them that power to make money back. We give them the power to create on their own terms back, right? They don't have to go pandering to these huge studios and you know, how can I make it fit so you guys will give me some money? How can I make this story work so it's palpable to you, right? Without, so you're like, you're having to give up some of that artistic integrity, um, funding to create something that like is part of you, right? Which should come out naturally and which should come out as its like most purest form. So I really hope that NFTs continue to change all these industries for creators, where they are unfortunately having to kind of, you know, struggle to be able
Yeah.
to create.
You know, I had a buddy who did like amateur MMA, and I know that if he had the ability to bootstrap himself, and think about this, Bronan, doing NFTs for sport athletes, but not professional sport athletes, maybe amateur sport athletes in your local town, and maybe you can bootstrap them into getting better training, into making trips to larger gyms, and then, you know, being able to work like that. I think that's such a cool thing. We're just seeing this kind of confluence of NFTs and community, and being able to bootstrap the creator or the individual or community, you know, that is involved in that NFT. Really cool stuff, man. Really cool stuff. All right.
Absolutely, yeah. And just real quick, that reminds me of another project I just saw, like where somebody had said that, and it's, I guess it was more of like a brainstorming. But wouldn't it be cool if somebody went out and, you know, one of these nonprofits or something that was trying to save like endangered species, like if you took like the top 50 endangered species and you minted one NFT for each one of that species that it's still currently living, right? To bring awareness to the rarity
That's sick.
of the species, right?
Yeah.
Not the rarity of the NFT. If you go and you see a one of one, dude, that's one of that species left in the world, right? So I think that it's another way of paying attention, putting on subjects and things that we should have more eyes on and care about a little.
Awesome. Yeah, we're having a great discussion here on short films and how NFTs are related. Brainfeeder Collection is going to be the name of the project that Ronan was just touching on. I want to hit some comments. Asmodai's in the house asking what the name was. You guys came through and dropped it. Hash Rhymes dropped the name of Brainfeeder Collection. We have about 63 of you guys in the house, and we are about halfway through the episode. We had an absolutely amazing time on the first episode of NFT Live. It lasted about 1 minute. It was so great. But we are on round 2 here of NFT Live. We're doing some good things, and we've got you guys following along. So Left House is in the house saying, been too long, lads. Love to hear some NFT film talk. And Permdaz talking about the ILV token and the gas associated. I believe the game is going to be on Immutable X. So I think the layer 2 solution there is going to be what you're going to be on when you're playing the actual game, which is needed, right? That's a whole nother discussion. Me and Ronan are in talks with people trying to bring NFT gaming projects to just the world, and they're like, hey, you know, we're trying X chain, and when I say X chain, I'm just saying blank chain, and they do this well, but they don't do this well. What about ETH? And I'm just like, man, if you're trying to do anything at any type of scale, it's just not going to work. So, and that conversation's been had multiple times. So we'll keep away from that. All right, I'm going to move into the next topic, which is Godzilla. But I want to bring this into a conversation with you as well as the guys in chat, guys and gals in chat. I want to go over this Crypto Slam rankings here, man. So we see Godzilla about 70,000 in secondary market sales, which is pretty good, pretty standard. I don't know the actual stats on a large time frame of if that is good or not for a wax sale right after the actual sale takes place. Obviously, they sold out all of the ultimate packs. That's good to see. 500K in about a second. I don't know the numbers from the standard packs at this point, but we are seeing some sold. I'm going to refresh this, make sure we have the most up-to-date rankings. So again, 113,000 since I last even clicked that. So they're doing well. We had some questions earlier, if I can get back to it, on whether, and I think Ronan's been asked this probably 10 times on NFT Live. Do you guys think I should open my Godzilla packs right away or hold it? And this is old school NFT Live. This is like second week of Ronan being on NFT Live. What would you say here, Ronan, on the actual pack sale itself?
Yeah, so when it comes to like the pack sales, I think that like it's a mixture. I think that you know, you really and this is for any of these NFT experiences. Like you really have to feel it out, right? Like for me, one of the things I did was in the what is it, Bitcoin origins, the third block. So like what I did with that one was I looked at the previous one. How did it work? How did it play out? What were the packs going for? I realized that like some of the packs from block 2 were selling for like 800 and change when they only sold for $25 at their initial sale. So what I did was I picked up 5 packs. I opened one, I sold 2, and then I kept, or I bought 6 packs, opened one, sold 2, kept 3, and sell those later, right? And that for me is always like, if I can cover my costs for
Mm-hmm.
like whatever I spent, like I'm good.
Yeah.
So even with that very first, you know, those first 2 sales that I did, I more than covered because I sold them for like $285 10 minutes after I bought them for 25. Like 10. So like you have this window right after a sale. Like if it's totally sold out, like you're going to be able to make money, and like you can watch that number go up for a little while until like interest is lost, and that just is going to depend on how much supply did the project have, right? Like Bitcoin's origin really nailed it with the first 2 blocks. The third one, they got like a little bit too much. And then the fourth block had way too much supply.
Mm-hmm.
So like in that sense, anyone who bought, you know, blocks in block 4 and held on to them, especially the 2 megabyte one, which is like, you know, the most
Mm-hmm.
popular, or the 1 megabyte, sorry, you kind of got hosed, right? Because like they put so much supply out that everybody who wanted one got it during the initial sale. There's a lot to take into it. I think with Godzilla, if you were lucky enough to snag one of those legendary packs, you can probably go ahead and flip it on the market in the next 24 hours, make your money back, make and then and kind of go from there. I don't know if this one's going to hold long term value. I think it's really hard. Do you hold a year from now,
Mm-hmm.
when it's a first time project and a first time experiencing it and stuff? So
Yeah, so just giving you guys a look here into the sales history on Godzilla, and then giving you a look at Ronin as I do that the second time. I merge here, and we are into the sale history. So we see some lower mints going for a good amount. That's a 19 mint. I believe that's one of the more rare cards as we kind of make our way down the list. $35 there, a couple of small payments. So there are cards selling. Again, Ronin makes a great point. What you want to do, just like in traditional investing, although this is not investment advice, do your own research. You definitely want to see if you can get your initial investment out. That way you can play around with collecting and making sure that you can kind of continue. I've got thrown off here because this looks like, is this an ultimate pack going for $11? Did someone mess this up? Fat finger this? No. No, that looks like the standard pack there. So $9 standard pack going for about $11. You have to obviously factor in fees there. So that's where we see. I would like to see an ultimate pack here and see what the ultimate packs are going for if they're being sold. $10 here, $350 here. So that kind of gives you a look at the market as we see it. And we'll kind of go back into Crypto Slam here and bust out kind of the question that I had towards the whole market right now. I want to give everyone a good look. Crypto Slam does a great job of secondary market sales. I think NBA Top Shot is another one to look at with what the topic that you were just covering, which is when they start to dilute the market with a lot of these cards, are you going to get the return that we initially saw with NBA Top Shot packs? They're coming out with a lot of packs now to kind of service this over demand of being 200,000th in line. So it'll be interesting to see where the alpha comes from NBA Top Shot packs even. But look as I kind of zoom out here, Ronan. I want to get your guys' opinion in chat. I'm gonna pull in. I'm going to zoom out to 7 days, and we're going to see a little bit of pullback within the whole industry. If I move out to 30 days, we're still kind of in that real NFT hype cycle that led up to things like being on SNL. We see the 100% gains, 90% gains, 25% gains. As we zoom in a little bit further, is there a little bit of a top being seen in some of these stats, right? We see a lot of percentage down. Obviously, if a project just launched a thing in the last 7 days or a drop in the last 7 days, they're going to do well. But we see things like NBA Top Shot. I've seen a lot of people talking about how CryptoPunks floors are being hit here. So I want to throw this to the group. What do we think about these stats? Is this just kind of a temporary pullback? Ronan, I want to get your opinion on this as well as we zoom back out here and see exactly what that looks like. So what's your opinion here on the market itself? and I'm going to throw this to the community as well. Drop it in chat what you make of these stats, because we do see kind of a pullback on CryptoPunks, on NBA Top Shot, and generally the whole market, unless you just had a recent drop.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that, and just so you know, chat was saying that you're much louder than I am, so I don't know if you want to bring me up or bring you down. That way they can kind of equalize themselves. But yeah, dude, I think that when it comes to the whole like scene, I think we're probably starting to see kind of a little more normalization of pricing and a little more normalization of like, you know, the industry as a whole. I definitely don't think that like you can have $5 million 24-hour periods every like 24 hours for months and months at a time. I think that the space itself is going to continue to grow. I just think that we're gonna see like better and more true and accessible pricing be part of the conversation as we move forward, right? Like I think that the people who are like aping in and wailing out and all that stuff are probably like picking up, like they're going to continue to do what they do, right? But I think like the other 50% that can't afford to do that all the time, they can only afford to do it when they're really hype about something, are going to start pulling back and getting their spending under control, especially when they see that, I mean, you look at those projects out of the top 20 projects, I mean, how many of those do you think are actually, you know what I mean, going to be worthwhile in a year from now? I mean, thankfully, a lot of those, hopefully, but like, I mean, look, you've got the MLB Champions is on there, dude, and that like project is literally dead. So, but people are going out there spending money on it because it's a dead project, and hopefully that becomes like super rare in the future, right? So, it's interesting. I think that we're in an interesting place. I think that we'll continue to see the normalization of pricing, and hopefully, I think that like I love art, and I love, dude, I buy lots of crypto art these days. Like I love it, but like at the same time, like going into every single new artist, foundation or OpenSea, and seeing every single new piece, their very first piece ever in the crypto space for like 1 ETH, for like 1.5 ETH is their asking, and they have like no Instagram connected. They don't have an active Twitter. They don't have any portfolio. I mean, it's really difficult to put like any type of belief and support behind an artist when they come out the gate and saying like, my art's worth $2,000 a piece, but I don't have anything to back that up, right? So I think that we need to see the entire space, the entire industry, kind of get these prices back under control, right? Like we don't need $1,000 collectible card packs. Look, Ben Morrow, amazing. Top Shot, cool, but we do not need $1,000 like collection packs. It's just not like it's not sustainable at a 5, 20, 30-year period of time. Sure, it's sustainable if you're looking for 3 months worth of profit, but long term, I think that you're going to have a real issue if you're trying to pander like your only rare stuff to people who can afford $1,000 for a pack of 3 cards in the hope that they'll hit one of like 20 that are valuable, right? That to make that $1,000 purchase worth it.
Yeah, there's a fair point to be made. I think that pairing the NFT kind of run up with the crypto run up, because ETH was running in that period too. So a lot of people were crypto rich. They were ready to spend. When you talk about Ben Morrow, those packs got up to like, based on the flow price, and we had him on the channel saying, are you adjusting these pack prices because you have them priced in flow, and flow's like 6x since here. So you have an 88 flow pack that's thousands of dollars, and people still paid for it. People still paid for that drop because maybe the market was doing well. So anyways, we have to move on. We have new design for monsters catching MMO chain monsters. So chain monsters has been a project me and Rona have been talking about for a little bit. They have an alpha for next April. So middle of April, we're going to have hopefully a release. If you're not involved in this project, get in LADZ, get into the NFT like chat room and try to talk with some of us, and we can get you access there. I believe it's like $35. They're sending out alpha keys still, I believe, but we have some pre-alpha footage. Admittedly not a lot. Okay, so we have the champion basically running around. Again, they're going to be an auto battler, much like a Pokemon like you had chain monsters. It's basically going to be Pokemon with blockchain features. So we have the hero here running around an island, and we have that as pre-alpha footage. So really cool look at this project. Again, it's going to be on Flow, so you're going to be able to play these type of auto battler games and have the assets that you actually start to earn while playing these games. Play to earn, baby.
Yeah, dude, I'm really looking forward to that. I mean, that like when the first like two things that came to mind were like, and at the time, TFT, right? Like Team Fight Tactics was blowing up. Like, so now, and you look like fast forward now, like here we have, we're on the brink of Illuvium and we're on the brink of like ChainMonsters. And I think both are excellent projects that have a lot to bring to the table to NFT gaming. And I think that that type of, you know, collectible and stuff is just perfect for the space, dude. So I can't wait to see how these play out over time.
Yeah, Max Weber here is tweeting, mixing pixel perfect 2D pixel art and stylized 3D character monsters was a challenge. I think we nailed it. Haven't seen this unique mix ever before. Actually, can't wait to see you all in game in April. So I cannot contain my excitement with being able to actually play a good amount of these games. I know my first experience with Axie, they weren't on Ronin yet. They didn't have a lot of the scalability stuff that they were trying to get out of the way, and I think have accomplished up until now. I'm just excited to hop in and play some games without having to feel like I'm on some type of like blockchain, slow transaction process. So we will move on. We're about an hour into the episode. We have 70 of you guys in the house. Shout out to everyone that is stopping by here. We are going to move on. We're going to pass SNL because we already touched on it. We have a Blockparty story. Blockparty version 2.0. I'm going to pull that up on the screen, and we are going to get into it, Ronan. Let's do it.
Yeah, so Blockparty 2.0, for those of you that don't know, Blockparty has been around for a while. However, they did kind of step back from like the NFT things to kind of like themselves. Launched Blockparty version 2.0 just a few days ago, and this was kind of their first big drop, which was between Pete Alonso and our boy Tommy Wilson, who has been here on NFT Live, and who tremendous supporter of what we do. So thank you so much to Tommy. But he had an excellent sale. I thought this was really, really cool. If you want to talk about like capturing that like that baseball card collector feel, like these cards that they put together catch it perfectly. I mean, when you look at the signature right there, right, like it's just like, this is cool. And this is where I see people being really proud to pull up one of these refractor cards by Tommy Wilson, and it's signed, and you can pull it up on your car, on your wallet, in your phone, and you can show someone you own, number one of 12, right? So I absolutely love it. I think this is excellent. Big ups to Tommy and Alonso for getting together to do this project. I hope we see more of it, just like we saw with, the UFC drop and we saw with everything else coming. So I've heard there's boxing and UFC and MMA and kickboxing and freaking karate and Brazilian jiu-jitsu and all types of people who are trying to jump into this now and figure out like, how does NFTs play into like what we're doing, and how can like we incentivize our communities. And this is a really cool way of going about it. So congratulations to Blockparty, Fitch. Big ups to you, buddy. You guys are doing an excellent job.
Yep. We're going to touch on a comment really quick. Okay, Ronan? We're going to touch on a comment. I know you see which comment I'm talking about. We are going to hop into Anders' Any Observations channel on YouTube just for a second. And we're going to touch on this because this, I feel like, is a little bit important. Let's see if I can't find it. We had a creation on the Wax blockchain here about 3 days ago. And this is going to be from Any Observation. This is just us commenting kind of on his channel here. So I'm going to pull up. Shout out to Anders, by the way. He's an awesome guy.
Yes.
I've got Topps Godzilla NFTs on Wax and space MLB. And basically, in his video, after he talks about Godzilla, and we got to figure out if he's doing well in this drop, we got to reach out to him. We see him here, and he is talking about a Wax creation here. And I pulled it up on the screen. You guys can see it. I'm going to merge it here real quick. MLB.Topps. And so we have Any Observation going through and breaking down that there is a MLB on Topps creation. So I guess that is the reporting there, Ronan. Did you have anything you wanted to add on there before we hop out and go into the next story?
We see a screenshot and we see people reporting on MLB.Topps has been created. That's about all I can say as well. I think that, a lot of us have speculated, like, Topps has their hands in a lot of different apps, right? Like or a lot of different properties when it comes to digital collectibles. If you look at the stuff they have on their phone apps, you're looking at WWE, NFL, they had soccer for a little while, baseball, basketball, hockey, like all of it, right? They have all these rights. So to see something like MLB pop up, I'm not surprised. Obviously, this is not a confirmation. We just see that an account has been created. It's MLB.tops. And the general consensus is maybe we're going to be lucky enough to see MLB drop on Wax, which I think would be an excellent addition to what they're doing.
Amazing, man. You are going to hear a Flow stan here talk for a second. I love Flow. I love what they're doing for the space, for the NFTs. I am a big Flow supporter. DapperLabs, and again, not investment advice, do your own research, yada, yada, yada. DapperLabs received $305 million in funding. And I don't believe in the Forbes article that we have the actual price at which these tokens were acquired, or if it's equity. I can get into that maybe in LADZ City for you guys, but we have DapperLabs securing $305 million. And this is from some notable people here in the space. Notable people in the space. So I'm going to try
the first one I saw was Jordan, right?
Yeah. So we have Andreessen Horowitz, Andre Iguodala. There's Kevin Durant here, Michael Jordan. So other investors in this round include Andreessen, the Chernin Group, Union Square Ventures, Ven Rock, and basketball legends Michael Jordan. We have Vivek Ranadiv, and a couple others, including Kevin Durant. I think Will Smith was involved. So this is, and look at Rohan cheesing right there. Nice shot of Rohan. So I mean, this is a who's who of people getting into DapperLabs. It's that simple. So I got to go into this a little bit further and see exactly, because obviously it's a lot of text here. This is via Forbes, and I need to see what the details of this round is if they made it available to the public. And DapperLabs raised 305, led by tech investment firm Koatu. And yeah, so not going to kind of break it down here on the stream, but we'll see exactly what those numbers are, hopefully, over the next coming weeks. Maybe they get divulged, but this is big. This is big for DapperLabs in total. Did you have anything that went along with this as we kind of look at their tweet here?
No, man. I just think that it's huge. I think that this is this is like the second or third announcement about a seed round that went really well, right? Like OpenSea did around, I think, last week. And I saw another, I can't remember who the other one was that secured a really big financial round of funding this week, but we're seeing it. There's definitely a lot of money, VCs coming into the space. There's a lot of little projects that were like barely figuring out how they could get by, and now they're sitting on, a little bit of cushion. So I think it's excellent. It's great to see. And I'm looking forward to what everyone is building in this space, man, because it's just going to keep getting better.
Ronan, I'm going to put you on the spot here, and I'm going to bring you up. KD or LeBron James?
What's KD stand for?
Kevin Durant, my man. Oh my God. All right, we're going to stop the stream. We are going to see you guys later. No, I'm just kidding. Last thing I wanted to touch on with Flow, Ben Morrow released this announcement right before we went live here. Evolution NFT Rewards announcement. First rewards dates, info for collectors here for my card series on Vive. So we know that Ben Morrow had his evolution drop on Vive.com. Again, a lot. They were pretty expensive. There was a really cool story that he has grinded away at art, and I believe he was the director of art on many different projects, including Halo. I think there was The Hobbit. So he kind of had his hand in creating the various looks of all of those different franchises. And apparently, this windfall from this sale made him a millionaire, right? It was just this really awesome story of him grinding for a long time, but NFTs and just kind of the movement and him launching at the time he did made it so he really had a successful sale, and that has changed his life. And that was a really awesome story. If I can find it, I'll put it in LADZ City if you guys want it. But as it's related here to the rewards, if you hold a full set, I'm gonna go into the merge here. If you hold a full set, common reward, rare reward, or legendary reward and diamond reward, which diamond means you hold all three sets, you are getting a special edition, a new common reward card, a new rare reward card, a new legendary reward card, or this special limited edition diamond card. So basically, this is utility. This is what we want to see, isn't it, Ronan? This is what we want to see from artists, from creators, from just in general across the NFT space. This is what we want to see.
Absolutely. Utility, like incentivizing the secondary market to like, you know, get moving and for people to trade and sell and all these things. I think what's really like one thing I definitely don't want to like just gloss over is the fact that he went from, you know, to grinding for years and years and years doing this film industry stuff that you would think like people like the you know, the lead director of art for a movie like The Hobbit, like one of the biggest franchises, right, to ever come out in movies, would be a millionaire. It would be I mean, he's probably financially stable, but like, you know, to really like to get over that hump and it to happen in this way is amazing. And you hear that story constantly, right? Like we saw RAC say that he put out that drop on Nifty and he made more money in that 24 hours of that drop than he had made in like what 5 years producing music, right, in the industry. So that's the type of power we're dealing with, and that's the type of that's how like someone who like RAC, who's a Grammy award winning producer, isn't making crap on the stuff that he's creating every single day of his life for the last 5 years. When you compare it to what he should be making, right? Like there's obviously a demand for his product. Like he does good work. So that's what we want to see, and that's how NFTs can actually change people's lives and how it can continue to do that for many different people. It's not just art, it's not just gaming, it can be so much more. Just come into the space and get creative.
100%. I agree 100%. I think you touched on it really well. Guys, we are about to close out the episode. We have 2 stories to get to before we end here today. Again, this is NFT Live. We're covering all of the NFT news from around the industry. You guys have been great the whole time. Keep those chats continuing to move. Again, it will be a better episode if you guys are participating with us. It's awesome. You guys have been here the whole time. So shout out to you guys. If you're new here, like, comment, subscribe. If it's your first time, please go ahead and hit that subscribe. Of course, we just hit 6,000 on the channel. Thank you guys so much. We are growing at a record pace. But we have a couple last stories to get to. One that Ronan put in here last minute, he snuck it right by me, but this is not that story. This is going to be Ephimera. So let's do it.
Yeah. So Ephimera is basically a platform that has been out here for specifically trying to target photographers. And I think that, you know, when new creatives come into the space, they see all this cool, you know, 3D and 2D and digital and fine art. And they look around and they're like, well, where's all the photography, right? Because like photography is definitely a visual art that people appreciate. Although I do think it is underappreciated for centuries, just like every other creative medium. But yeah, so Ephimera, I just wanted to put a little you know, love to, you know, in their direction, show you guys that like are interested in photography, that there is another side to NFTs outside of just like fine art and gaming. We also have photography, and there's some amazing work on this website. So check it out, Ephimera. That is the second to last story, and I'll go ahead and just jump. Beautiful.
It really is. It has a super rare type of feel to it as well. So it looks like,
yes. It's got a very nice layout in my opinion, and I think that I hope that it continues to grow and we see more support there for photographers.
All right, and it is one of the biggest top signals that I've ever seen in the history of crypto, and we've been around the block. Okay, the biggest top signal I have ever seen in my time here. Ronan, take it away.
I think this is definitely the tops. What could the Teletubbies be possibly hiding from us? Stay tuned for something big this week. Now they hashtagged it with Bitcoin. So I don't know what the deal is there, but I would imagine as a creative brand and television show, they're probably dropping an NFT. Hopefully it's not on BTC, but we'll see. Maybe the guy who sent out the tweet was like, I don't know, 15 when the show first aired, and now he has no idea what Bitcoin and NFTs really are. He was just told to put out a tweet talking about it. So there's that. That's your alpha. That is the biggest alpha coming to you in today's episode. If you didn't learn anything from this episode, please make sure you walk away and you understand that we will probably see a Teletubbies NFT in our lifetimes. That is the new Lindsay Lohan.
This is what we got, guys. This is the hot news we're bringing you guys each week. Listen, I'm going to bring myself up here because I'm going to, you know, timestamp this, do whatever you got to do, turn it into an NFT, put it on the blockchain. There is a Bitcoin logo there, and we all know that the platform that's blowing up right now that is associated with Bitcoin. It's BitClout. It is socialized tokens for Twitter profiles. If this is a Teletubbies bit clout, I will get a tattoo of a Teletubby. No, I won't.
Don't finish the sentence, brother, because you finished that sentence.
At some point, a transparent.
You were getting a fucking Teletubby if that happens. You thought about it because you're like, wait a minute, I actually just figured out what they're talking about. Why would I actually bet on it? No.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go ahead and just. Listen, I'll get I'll get one that washes off here, and we'll make it like a whole big thing only for you guys. Everyone else will think that it's real. We'll do this whole thing. If they do a bit clout Teletubbies, I'm going to literally jump off a bridge after I get the Teletubbies tattoo. That's what's gonna happen. So we'll see what happens. Again, Teletubbies, great job. I don't even know how to end this. Basically I'm going to take you guys through the schedule for the rest of the week. We have a packed episode. We're moving some things around, and then I'm going to give a quick shout out again. Our boy Cagyjan, he's going to be doing his show on next Friday. It's going to be all about NFT gaming. I'm going to have his thing roll as we kind of pop out of here. But we have, let me make sure that I'm getting you guys the right information. Easy Street tomorrow is going to happen, I believe, at 6 p.m. It's somewhere in that 6 p.m., 6:30. Let me make sure that I've got it correct for you guys. We have Easy Street. Alegria is going to be on, actually. So that's an awesome kind of collab between the LADZ and Whale there. So Alegria is going to be on that at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. Change that to whatever you need. And then Layer 1 Live is actually going to be tomorrow as well. I'm going to figure out the best time to drop this Layer 1 podcast for you guys. I promise I'll get you more information there. Layer 1 Live at 2:30, Easy Street at 6:30, and then Friday is just going to be an absolute banger. Wait for Crypto Buffalo to put that out, but we're going to have a LADZ radio. We're going to have NFT Live. We're going to have a lot of different content. Friday is here and hereby going to be known as LADZ Day. So Friday is going to be LADZ Day. We're going to be putting out all the content for you on that day, and we do have poker as well coming to you. Just stay tuned in the city, and we will kind of pop out of here, man. Any last thoughts on NFT Live before we pop out? Or the NFT space? Oh, you're muted.
There we go. Let's try that again. No, I think that we covered everything, man. I think that it's been an excellent week. I thought this was an excellent episode. Thank you to everybody who is in chat hanging out with us. We appreciate you guys so much because it definitely brings the energy and helps us kind of like, get through and figure out what you guys want to hear about and what you guys are interested in. So big shout out to you guys. Obviously, Cagyjan, thank you so much for joining the fam, dude. I can't wait to check out the NFT gaming content you're going to be bringing to the LADZ. Easy. I'll see you tomorrow, brother. And to everyone else, you guys know what it is. It's our vibe and it's our tribe.